What's up? Time to draft. Once again, it's Thursday. We are missing one. Let's see if I can get somebody in here. Wow, how long?
Can you hear me?
What's up, Jeremy?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Decided to move spots in the draft so I could snipe you.
I saw that. I was like, oh, he's moving over there to try to snipe me, huh? But I feel like we're not really on the same player, so I don't know if you're going to snipe me.
That's true.
Like, I feel like we don't always agree.
I mean, I know we both agree on the Austin Eckler. Trying to think who else we agree on. It's hard. Yeah, I don't know who else you're on actually, except for like Eagles players and obviously Washington. So
Yeah. I'm not really on the Eagles. I think Rager's I definitely like Rager's potential in Dynasty. I also understand that if it doesn't happen this year, he's probably in trouble.
yeah,
I don't really draft him much. I've drafted him a little bit in best ball, but not too much.
I did
I think
realize
he's
you were
worth
right
a
about.
flyer, like in the double-digit rounds.
I think you were right on Smith's ADP. I just could have swore I always see him, even in mock drafts, go around 5 or 6. But it does his ADP's in the 9th, and I was like I've never seen Smith go in the 9th.
Smith goes in my best ball drafts. It's like I'm trying to think if he goes before or after Cortland Sutton. Let me check. I don't draft him much, to be honest, because I just think I used to get him way later, and now it's hard for me to pick him.
Well, I would say if he's going in the like if Watson went there and he was going in the like 6th or 7th, then I'd be fine with that. Yeah, that's fine. But I see him going like the 5th and 6th now, and I think if Watson went there, everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's going to be the next Justin Jefferson." So let's get him in the 2nd round, and I'd be like, "Nah, see ya."
No, so he's going around guys like, well, again, it's not like our drafts, but he's going after guys like Tyler Boyd, just ahead of guys like Debo, Chenault, Gallup. I mean, Curtis Samuel goes really late in these drafts. That's why I get so much of him, because it's like I get Curtis Samuel in like the 7th, 8th round. That's just ridiculous.
And we're still waiting for one to fill it up, right?
Yeah, I posted in the Discord that we still need one. Let's see if anybody
on the YouTube wants to.
Yeah, although it says nobody's on there yet.
Okay.
I'm surprised because usually when I post in the Discord, it fills up like right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about the COVID stuff as well, because I know we were talking about that. My big thing on that is just I think the NFL just doesn't want to be linked to a COVID outbreak, and so that's why they're like, well, last year we paid millions of dollars into supplies and don't even get a vaccine. It'd look really weird if we then went out and said, oh yeah, we're okay if our players don't get vaccinated and or start an outbreak. That's where I think like the NFL is coming from. It's not that they're like, oh, you have to get a vaccine. It's just like, well, we spent money to get a vaccine. We can't really say, oh, now we're okay with you not getting vaccinated.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I just don't give the NFL that benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. as much as I think they're about the money, because I know they're about the money, their face is also the other big thing. Like,
well, their face is their money, right? Like
yeah,
that's the thing. When Roger Goodell first came in office, he said his job was to protect the
yeah,
shield, that logo. um, and then now it's like player safety because we went through all the head trauma stuff and all that negative press, and they're like, crap, I guess we better do something about this. So, I mean, it could be like, yeah, another thing where they're like, oh, we don't want all the negative press. That could be it.
yeah. And I think from last year, just from the NFL, like from most people's perspective, what was the bad thing about the NFL? It wasn't that they played a whole bunch of games or the bad press they got last year. It wasn't that they played a whole bunch of games or did a whole bunch of things. It was you'd random hear about players who had COVID and went into buildings or went to strip clubs or broke broke COVID protocols to do something, and you were like, why would you do that? Oh, just a mental lapse, and they're like, well, we don't want that this year at all. So, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, I get all that.
But
Sorry,
oh no, you're good. You're good. Oh,
but I also think, I mean, I don't want this to turn this into a vaccine COVID discussion because I don't want you
oh
to.
yeah.
But I understand a player who's 20 something years old who's making millions and millions of dollars because of their athletic ability, potentially being nervous about, because it's easy to sit here and say, oh, there's no long-term side effects of the vaccine when we don't know what the long-term side effects may or may not be, right? Like maybe there's not. Chances are there isn't. What if there is? What if like a couple years down the road, players who got vaccinated start having like lung capacity issues? For you and I, if we have lung capacity issues, we probably won't even notice, right? Like we would, you know what I mean? But like for a professional athlete, that could be like a career ender. Like if dude runs one play and is like exhausted, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I can totally understand a player who's like, because these guys already like watch everything. They have strength coaches, they have nutrition coaches, they have all these people that are like literally their body is their business, right?
Yeah.
So I totally understand if somebody's like, look, I don't know what this thing might potentially do long term. I'm a multi-million-dollar high-level athlete who's in amazing shape. I'll take my chances. I totally get that. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't understand.
And I do too. So my thing wasn't that the players should get a vaccine or anything. My perspective was the NFL did this bubble thing last year, and it seemed like the only thing that went wrong were players who accidentally broke the bubble, and they're like, well, we don't want that to happen again. So what consequences are we going to give so that doesn't happen again? And then they did this, and then now people are like, but now you're saying players are having to get vaccinated. We're not saying that. We're just saying if you're not going to get vaccinated and you continue to do stupid stuff, you're going to pay for it. And I'm like, I'm okay with that because it would mean that you went out and did something you probably weren't supposed to, and now you're getting fined for it.
I mean, maybe it might not always be that case, but I hear your side of it. But
Yeah.
anyways, looks like everybody's ready to go. Let's get this started. Here we go. We got Big Kittle Liar. The draft is full.
Who's in here?
Berto's on the Zoom. What's up?
Yeah,
What's up,
hey you guys,
Roberto?
how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
All right, there you go. I'm glad the Hoots didn't take Damian Harris.
Yeah, Nick's supposed to be taking all those guys, right?
Yeah, what happened? I thought Nick was gonna pick like Damian Harris, Odell, Landry. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, whoa.
That's
What
a super
happened there?
spicy pick right there.
Wow.
Over Alvin Kamara. That's whew.
I mean, over Kamara, over Henry.
Man, I could have got Kamara at the 105.
I know. I wish I would have had like the 1.8. I could have gotten Zeke.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, she is. What's up, Marquise?
Not much, not much.
You know what? Let's see what happens. I'm going to take him here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go only because I don't like Tyreek Hill in real life. I'm gonna go here. Let's
I
go.
thought you would do that. That way I could get the stack. I was like, if I take Hill, he might take Kelsey. But I was like, if I take Kelsey, I was like, I think Hill will fall with me.
So it is Pierre's wife. Well, now that means you got to take Mahomes.
Yeah, but where do I take him?
That's the question. Well, luckily you're drafting ahead of me, so you know I won't take him at the 3 or the 4. So
Yeah. I don't know if I want to take him in the 4, though.
well,
Especially
if you don't, you probably won't get him. That's just fact.
That's true, but like in the 6th, I could get Josh Allen.
That's true. But then you won't have that Chiefs stack.
I mean, stacks are nice and all, but I already have a stack in just Kelsey and Hill. I'm going to get whoever's the better beneficiary of the week of Patrick Mahomes, and I'm fine with that.
I like Keenan Allen, but I don't understand why are we drafting Keenan Allen so early now? What did I miss something? Have I missed some news? Why is Keenan Allen a mid-second rounder now?
I've never been super like I like him at the end of the 2, 3.
Or is that just the wide receiver? No, you still got McLaurin.
Target share, man. Target share. Who else going to be catching balls?
Williams, easy.
Oh.
Williams a bust.
Nope.
I like Keenan Allen. I'm not saying I don't like Keenan Allen. But I mean, he only averaged 9.9 yards per target last year. I just don't think he has like. I think he'll catch a lot of passes. That's for sure.
Is this going to be a full wide receiver run?
It looks like it.
I will say Nick took Saquon 1-3. I've slid Saquon down. Just too many concerns and injuries, and Daniel Jones is also a factor. It's not just
okay, if you want to argue you sliding him down because you think the Giants' offense is going to be horrible and he's not going to have, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
but I follow like 4 or 5 injury expert guys on Twitter who I'm telling you, like, these guys are crazy. Like, they can see the video of an injury happen and be like, oh, that's a high ankle sprain, 4 to 6 months, or 4 to 6 weeks, and then the next day it's like, yeah, MRI showed high ankle sprain. Like, these guys are nuts, and they're all like, I would gladly draft Saquon Barkley in the first round. I think he's going to be totally fine. Yeah, maybe he doesn't, get his normal workload in the first couple of weeks, but then he'll be fine. He'll be off and running and nothing to worry about. And I'm going to trust those guys. I'm going to trust those guys.
I'm just saying, like, I'm moving him down like 2 spots. Like, it's nothing dramatic. Like, he's still like the 105 or the 106. I put Kamara and Henry above. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not taking him out of the first round. I'm not choosing Jonathan Taylor before him. Like,
I mean, that's fair. Look at this. This is crazy. We've never seen it. I thought I was going to go 0 RB, but I think I might have to go RB on my next picks because the value is going to be too good. This is crazy. I feel like Cam Akers getting hurt. Now nobody wants to draft running backs. Now everybody's scared. Darren Waller at the 3-4. All right, that's pretty nice. Wow, she's putting together a good team. Well, Jonathan Taylor at the 1-4. That's a little much. It's a little much.
Oh, don't give me that PPR. Like, what didn't Henry beat Saquon out last year?
Well, come on. Saquon played like
Wait, okay. Did he beat him out the year before too, right?
Yeah, he missed. He had a high ankle sprain, like the same injury Nick Chubb.
Okay, and I think he also beat him out the year before.
Negative. Saquon Barkley in 2018, his rookie year, was a monster. I think he was like RB3 or RB4.
Okay, where was Henry at?
That year he was like RB10 or something. Let me see. If even that high.
Can't we check this? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out.
I'm checking it right now. So Saquon in 2018 was RB1.
Okay, what was Henry?
Probably not higher than that.
Oh well, Henry. It looks like he was
16.
also injured in the first 6 weeks. So
RB16, but he only averaged 12 per game, whereas Saquon Barkley averaged 24. So even if he played 16 games, it's unlikely.
I'm
That's
just
the
saying.
thing. That's why
over the last 3 years, Henry has beat out Saquon Barkley in PPR. So.
He's also played 32 games, and Saquon Barkley's played like 12 or something.
Dan Marino. Sure, this isn't Pierre now.
No, Pierre uses punctuation and like Pierre went type.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's the teacher. So
he's a teacher. He's an editor. He wouldn't write "I am" without the apostrophe.
What am I looking at for wide receivers here?
Dude, it's bad.
It's not too bad yet.
I mean, there's literally only 2 guys that I actually would be happy with here.
I'm assuming. Well, let Arsenal pick. I'm assuming it's Wood and Godwin.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take one from you.
Yeah,
it's probably not going to be Godwin.
Well, that's fine. I'll take Godwin.
But I need to check and see what I'm going to do for my second pick real quick while I still have time. Yes, I do. You know what? Yeah, let's just go ahead and go Woods.
All right. I know I'm going Godwin, but God, geez, what about after that? I mean, I guess. Actually, I think this guy's still on the board, right? Hold on. He's still buried for some reason. There we go. I like that start.
Wow. 4 wide receivers. He was actually who I was looking to draft if I didn't go running back. Yeah, I think the value here is fine for Dobbins.
Yeah, it's definitely not Pierre.
Oh, clapping don't. Yeah, especially since I think the first 6 weeks we'll see his production. I'm not saying it will be exactly like the end of last year, but he will get close to the same production he did last year at the end of the year.
I will say the one thing I don't think people are like, I'm not worried about Cohen anymore, but they did sign Damian Williams, and I'm not saying Damian Williams is going to have like a monster touch count, but Damian Williams is significantly better than any other running back they had last year. So I don't know if it's I still think, I mean, literally down the stretch, he was getting 100% of the running back touches. 100%. Not even Christian McCaffrey gets 100%. He gets like 95. So I still
So how
like
much-
Montgomery, and I still think he's a great value at 4 or 5. I just don't think he's going to get that level of volume.
What level of volume do you think percentage wise?
I think he'll get like 70, which is great.
So I have him at like the 85, 80 mark.
Well, if he's getting the 80, 85 mark, he's going too low, because that's literally like, you're talking like top 10. And also Damian Williams is a very good pass catcher.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I think that could hurt him. But I still like him at the 4 or 5.
Yeah, Montgomery's not bad at passing, so sometimes I think they'll leave him in on third downs.
Oh, no. It's not going to be, no, of course. Yeah.
So, yeah, and just to fake people out, too. Like, they see Montgomery there, they're not going to be like, oh, it's going to be a pass to the running back. They're going to probably think, oh, it's either another run, or they'll have options, which will be nice.
Mahomes is 5-1. So much for your Chiefs stack.
Like I said, I took a tight end early. I'm trying to be serious this draft. Took a tight end early. That means I'm waiting on QBs. If QBs fall like they have been in our drafts, there's no reason I should be taking one early.
Yeah, no. Wait, is Dobbins your RB1?
Yes,
Ooh.
that's a little scary.
And that's coming from a guy with no RB1 right now.
Yeah.
That's definitely scary.
I just think I think he will be a very consistent RB2. And so for that consistency in the 4th round isn't bad.
Yes, but consistency does not win championships.
I would disagree with that.
Okay, I'm listening. Give me your reasoning.
If you had Hopkins last year, his consistency was super high.
Yeah, but Hopkins didn't win a lot of people championships. He won very few. Like, if the rest of your team was stacked, but if Hopkins was your best player last year, you probably did not win the championship. Or if he was one of your top 2 players because you drafted him in round 2, unless you
drafted him in round 2.
Yeah, okay. Who was the rest of your team?
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Montgomery was the other one.
Okay, so you already have 2 guys better than DeAndre Hopkins. He was at best your 3rd best player. That's my point. Is like
No. Hopkins outperformed Montgomery last year.
maybe over the course of the season, but what Montgomery did down the stretch had a way bigger impact on you winning the championship than anything DeAndre Hopkins did last year.
What do you mean? DeAndre Hopkins was like, I'm trying to think of his low game for PPR.
He was like 15 to 18. Maybe he had like, I don't even know how many 20-point
No,
games.
his first game he had 30. Then he went 20, 23, 11, 25, 9, 23, 6, 25, 10, 10, 19, 22, 29, 11, and then 7.5.
Okay.
But that 7.5 is the last game. And so we didn't play that week. So I can actually not count that week.
Well, here's the thing. You had Josh Allen and David Montgomery. I mean, like, dude, come on.
I also had Austin Eckler, but he was out. And I actually got him.
But he played down the stretch and in the fantasy playoffs when it mattered. So
yeah, I got him in a trade though. That was the other thing. I didn't draft him.
okay, here's the thing. In a normal competitive league where everybody has a good idea of what they're doing, you can't just put together a ridiculous team of studs.
I didn't put up and I had to pay for them.
But what I mean is, like, you can't just go out and make these trades. And
I also was lucky enough that James Robinson was also on my team. Should note that too. But I got him off the waiver wire. So again, didn't draft him, but I made the smart moves during the season to also help me win the championship.
Well, but what I mean is, when you're playing against people who are all at a similar level as far as knowledge and skill, it's much harder to pull off those trades.
Yeah.
Do that. So like if you had Kamara and Diggs last year, which is very possible because Diggs was like a 6th rounder, it really almost didn't matter who your other guys were.
I had Robbie Anderson, got him super late. He was good for the beginning of the year.
He was consistent. He didn't get you. I mean, he was like fine, but he was just consistent. He's not. No, I'm just saying, if you had Alvin Kamara and Stephon Diggs, which is very possible, you probably won your fantasy championship regardless of the rest of your team, unless the rest of your team was absolutely terrible. As long as the rest of your team was fine, was average or above average, you probably won the championship. And don't comment about your little 18 league where I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just saying anybody. Don't comment like, oh, I beat the team that had Kamara and Diggs because I had, 5 of the top 10 guys.
I'm wondering who you go here for running back because I wanted one guy and I'm just hoping he makes it back to me.
Well, I don't understand why he's still here.
Because I forgot about him. That would be my bad. I want to see who you go here.
Well, now it's between.
Don't do it, man.
Or do I just go here and do something crazy?
Oh.
All right. It's tough. That was actually tough. I don't know.
Okay, sweet. So I wanted him.
Oh, no. I have him under Gaskin too.
I think Gaskin falls off at the end of the year, or Gaskin's that one where I think some of his production will go to his backup, whose name is escaping me.
Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
I was like,
I worry that Gaskin doesn't get used as much in the passing game because they added a bunch of weapons in the passing game.
I think Williams by like maybe even week 5 or 6, and I think that's a little long. Gets the job from Denver, so. Kareem Hunt was probably my mistake, but I'm fine. He'll get me through. Who are y'all talking about? What is Nick talking about? Funk is going to finish in RB4?
I don't know.
Or does he mean like in like?
Kyler Murray at the 6'8" is pretty good. I almost went with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, so did I. But I figured I needed to update the running back room.
I mean, if he's saying Funk the RB4, then Nick obviously.
What is Nick calling teams and getting the lowdown? What is going on here?
I mean, to say Funk, even if you called the Rams and Sean McVay was like, dude, I love Funk. He's going to get so many touches. Like, you can't predict Funk as RB4 unless you've seen the future.
I think he means he's in that RB4 like category. Like you got your RB1s, your RB2s. Like that's what I'm hopefully he's thinking.
I think everybody's just trolling. I think everybody's just trolling right now.
All right, Chris, I'm going to snipe you here.
Oh, Nick with the Jacksonville backfield locked up.
Oh wow, yeah, he did get it. I'm just hoping my Jags win more than 5 games this year. That's that's where I am. We play the Texans twice, so I'm like,
Well, there's 2.
I'm like, there should be 2 games right there.
I mean, at least 1. You got to at least
Yeah.
go 1-1 against them.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Well,
What are you typing over there? Okay. I'm just hoping Arsenal doesn't snipe me. And he did. Lamar in the 7th is.
yeah, it's pretty good. Hmm.
I was thinking Lamar would get picked, and I need to pick like Russ or Dak. And then Lamar kept falling, and I was like, oh.
I'm definitely gonna go Dak.
I thought that, so that was my thing. I thought you would go Dak, and I was just going to snipe Dak for you.
I'm debating if I want to go wide receiver or running back here. And then who? Go here
Mm.
and here.
You're not going to like this pick, but I think he's great. So.
Ugh. Pain. The pain of a wasted pick.
It's not wasted.
It's wasted.
It's not wasted.
The difference between 12 points per game and a waiver wire pickup is nothing.
But he doesn't. Okay.
Yes, he does. Yes,
No,
he actually does.
He's a boom.
No, he's not. He's not a boom bust guy. His booms are like 16 points.
In PPR? Are you serious?
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to go back and look at his games from last year and name me how many. Okay. How many did he have?
And again, let's remember that the wide receivers he was competing against were Rashard Higgins and Donovan Peoples-Jones. 11, 7, 7, 15, 12, 7, 10, 9, 5, 4, 28. Oh, there's a random one. 20, 11, 19, 16. So we had two. Okay, realistically, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, and one of the games was in week 17 that didn't count. So he literally had 4 games that actually helped you win last year. Whereas he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games that were basically you might as well just pick somebody up off the waiver wire.
I think he'll be better than he was last year. So
wow. Are they going to throw more? I mean, Odell didn't play, basically. Yeah, he just is what he is. Like, I would have much rather you pick. I can't believe you didn't pick your boy Mike Williams. At least Mike Williams has a ceiling. He might not reach it, but he has it.
So with Mike Williams, I feel like I've hyped him up enough, and he's obviously going earlier. So I'm trying to calm down on him and pick other players that people aren't, who I think are sleeping on. And I think Jarvis Landry is another one of those.
So what you're doing is you're trying to hype up Jarvis Landry so that Mike Williams' ADP drops again? Is that what you're doing? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. I'm just trying to hype up other players that I think will be great this year. And you like Fuller? I like Fuller and Tua. Just like I have him, and I'm still debating if he's. I just don't see Tua throwing it down the field to Fuller.
I mean, maybe not. But again, who has like You shoot for the. We're in the 8th round. We're talking about your wide receiver. Well, hopefully your wide receiver 4 or 5. Your running
My
backs
3.
3 and 4. Well, that's terrible. But you gotta be shooting for upside here, because if he does, that helps you win fantasy. If he doesn't, okay, oh well. There's gonna be lots of busts in the 8th. There's gonna be a lot of them. A lot of these guys are gonna bust. Maybe not Dak or Wilson or Herbert, but a lot of these guys are gonna bust. It's just the nature of the beast. Like, I can't believe he didn't pick like Michael or Russell Gage.
I know. Like there was a list there, and I was like, well, I'm at the beginning of the 8th, and I was like, none of these guys are coming back, and I was like, well, I always choose Gage. I always choose Williams. It's like I got to go with my other option, which is Landry. So it's just like, all right. And I did win it. I usually go Antonio Brown, which was the other. So
yeah, I'm starting to really come around on Antonio Brown. He was really good down the stretch last year.
Dude, and I think he just gets more involved, which is why I don't like Godwin. Like I love Godwin as a player, his abilities, and I like him in Dynasty after he moves away from Tampa Bay next year. I don't even know his landing spot. And I'd still say keep Godwin, see where he lands, because it might work out.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm lower on Godwin. I just think, Godwin is my wide receiver 3, or maybe even my wide receiver for my flex. I think is okay. I think there's enough to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really starting to come around on Antonio Brown. So Austin's receivers are Ridley, Cup, and Juju. And then he has
the first 2 are fine. Juju's
Then he has 5 running backs.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right.
Oh man. You know what? Let's go with a little bit of a stack.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we're at this point of the draft. Get some upside handcuffs here.
I kind of wanted Jamal to go in the 10th, but I'm kind of glad I also didn't get him, because I know, like Sunday morning, I'd look at my lineup if I had Javonte and Jamal and mix them.
You put the wrong one.
Because usually all it says is like Jay Williams when you look at them, and I would just be like, oh yeah.
Oh, geez. That's definitely Edwards in the 9th and Williams in the 10th is definitely early, but I need some running back help.
Yeah, I thought you were just gonna grab a wide receiver there, like after Gus. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna go receiver again, and
I don't
he
need
went
it.
Williams. I was like, ooh,
I don't need it. I have 4 beasts and Antonio Brown. Like,
that's true. That's true. To be, what was I gonna say? Surprisingly, with all the running backs that Texans have, I'm almost surprised they haven't called the Rams. Well, I guess they don't have picks. I guess that's the other bad thing.
what is it? Okay. Here's the
Well,
thing.
one of those like 6 backups to get a pick.
Maybe, but who? Like, who? Maybe Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay was the one I was thinking of, and to try and get like a 3rd rounder out of him.
Ugh. The Rams. Well, I think the Rams only have a second and I think they have a 2nd and a 5th and a 7th next year. I think that's it.
You either try and get their 2nd or do Lindsay and something else for the 2nd. I don't know if that's too much, but
Yeah, no, they don't have anything. And the Rams, I don't think the Rams. I'm sure the Rams are upset about Akers, but I don't think people realize Darrell Henderson was a very good prospect. And
he was.
And I don't think the Rams are looking at him and saying, like, wow, we can't win now. Like, this team, Matt Stafford was the key, not Cam Akers. Like, they went out, they did everything they could, they got Matt Stafford. As long as Matt Stafford there, they're okay. Like, I'm not saying, again, I think they're just gonna go sign a cheap vet. There's no reason to trade draft capital. Like, going out there and getting Kareem Hunt, which the Browns aren't trading you Kareem Hunt. He's like too.
Yeah, they're not doing that. They like to do.
But you know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna oh, now the Rams can win the Super Bowl because they traded for Kareem Hunt. Like, no.
I do think like Cam Akers made their life a little bit easier.
I mean, maybe
for the Rams.
Maybe not. I mean,
man, you really didn't like Cam Akers, I guess.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't think Cam Akers. The issue last year, at least from the Rams' perspective, was Jared Goff.
Yeah.
In that playoff game against the Packers, Cam Akers ran the ball more than Jared Goff threw the ball, and they were losing the entire game. That right there tells you what Sean McVay thought of Jared Goff. I don't think, I'm sure they like Cam Akers. I'm sure they had nice plans for Cam Akers, but I don't think they're like, oh man, now we have to change everything because we don't have Cam Akers. It's like, no, I think they're going to be okay. It might be more like Henderson and a little bit of the other guy than it was with, you know what I mean? But I just don't think. I don't think from the Rams' perspective, it changes things much at all.
I meant to post this in the Discord, but I guess I'll just say it on here. So I did that thing you tell people not to do, which is spend 3 first on a player.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I know this is a rare case, but still, it's like, especially in the off season.
No. I did it again after the Akers thing.
For who?
Nick Chubb.
Oh. Nick Chubb. Chubb.
For Chubb, yep. I thought that might hurt you a little bit.
Nick Chubb.
For Chubb. Now I have Hunt, so that was the other factor.
Well, so I posted this today about Chubb because for some reason on Twitter everybody was talking about Nick Chubb today and how he's such a great value at the end of the first round and how he's gonna blah 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 blah. Okay, so over the last 2 years, what happened?
He's the last 2 years. Just last year? What did he do last year?
It's worse, but I'll just use last year if you want. I used the last 2 years because he missed 6 games last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is true. I forgot about that. Hey, do you know the draft is paused?
Yeah, I just paused it
Oh, okay.
because Austin timed out for some reason.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh,
Um,
you did, yeah.
and over the last years, he's had the same situation, right? It's like a run-heavy team. Kareem Hunt's there, all the same pieces, a great defense. So it's not like anything's different this year. He's only scored over 20 PPR fantasy points 25% of his games. That's less than Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Ezekiel Elliott. That's terrible. And
Doesn't
then
he have less games than those people?
no, actually he does not. Here you go if you want. So I mean, I'm sorry to like crush you after you traded 3 first. So Austin Eckler actually has the most 20-point. Well, he's tied with Zeke, but he's played.
No. I mean, hasn't Chubb played less games than all like the people you just listed?
He's played two. He's played 2 more than Eckler, 2 less than Aaron Jones, and 3 less than Zeke. So, and they have 32, 30, and 38, and he has 25%. And then he has almost half his games are under 14 fantasy points, which on a given week
Oh
is
crap! I'm on the
outside.
clock. When did
You're
that
on the
happen?
clock. Oh, there you go. Okay, almost half his games, 45% or 46%. He scored less than 14, which on a regular week is outside the top 20 running back. So half his games, not even a top 20 running back in PPR. So he doesn't have like a massive weekly ceiling, and he doesn't really. He's like I was like, dude, he is not like he's the guy who on paper you're like, yeah, Nick Chubb, but then he doesn't really actually do anything for your fantasy team.
Oh, that's what happened.
So that really hurt to hear that. You traded 3 first.
Yeah. Well, it's in Bill's league, and so most of my team is young up and coming wide receivers or even like my running backs. So everybody's young. And then I had 4 first next year. And I was like, there's no way I'm keeping all my young players next year and adding 4 more with the bench spots. And I was like, I just need a young guy who's going to be reliable. And the dude who had Cam Akers also had Chubb. And I was like, I'm in an exploiting situation here.
I mean, I get like that league's a little weird because there's like no
It's
depth.
just not as deep.
I've never seen a dynasty league like that. It's almost like a season-long dynasty league. Oh, what happened here? Hold on.
What do you mean? All right. Well, I'm picking McKissick. Give me a kiss. I had DJ.
All right, here, I'll take somebody else. All right, I'll take
Oh, you've got to repick because
yeah, it's fine. I'll just take somebody. I'll just take Penny.
there you go. What is this thing about the Kentucky Fried movie?
I don't know. Well, they started talking about his plotting slow running backs. And now Pierre's dating himself by posting a 1977 IMDb movie.
Does Pierre not know that I live in literally Louisville, Kentucky? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken is like the thing here.
Hey, Chris, can I get your opinion on something? really fast?
Sure.
So the Gronk pick. Are we safe to assume that OJ Howard's not going to be as 100% as a lot of people may think? Because of Achilles. Is it a torn Achilles for him?
I don't know. I just like Gronk because, again, at this point, tight end, whatever.
Yeah.
I could have taken Gesicki, could have taken Irv Smith. I mean, Trout. It's like whatever. I just like Gronk. He's fun. He's playing with Brady. Oh my goodness. So, could OJ Howard maybe, but I mean, it's not very like if it hasn't happened by now, and it's not really the situation where you would think it would. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chris. Because I'm big on Gronk because of the chemistry, but I mean I don't know anything about football because they've had previous history together. That's probably why. But I'm just assuming. I mean, in the medical field, a torn Achilles. That's statistically you're done. You're not going to be 100% all the time.
Yeah, for sure, and
so I'm thinking that it could probably be safe to do that, to pick Gronk over OJ Howard.
Oh yeah, I would pick Gronk over OJ Howard all day long. Plus, you got 3 good receivers there, so it's not like OJ Howard's looking at like fifth on the pecking order. So.
Oh my gosh, dude! Can't believe.
All right, Jeremy, you want to grade this?
Sure, why not?
To you or me or Marquise or Roberto.
Well, when have you haven't graded in a while, Chris? Have you?
All right, whatever. I'll grade. Let's go. I can't wait to grade Austin's team of plotters. All right, I'll start from the left. The Hootski, CMC, Najee. I don't usually like taking a running back with CMC, but I do like Najee. McLaurin, Ayuk, Mahomes, Hawkinson. Wow. Man. I mean, those wide receivers are not terrible, but they're not great. I mean, I do like McLaurin. Ayuk, I kind of am feeling. Waddle, Gallup, Gage, Campbell. I mean, you got Mahomes at the 5-1. That's great value. Hawkinson at the 6. That's good value. I mean, you got McCaffrey, so you probably won the league, honestly. I'm gonna
Nothing
say
about that AJ Dillon pick, man.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's better than the Chuba Hubbard pick, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Especially when you have McCaffrey, that Chuba Hubbard pick is not good. I'll give that one a 7.5. All right, Elgin, Cook, Gibson again. Gibson, I mean, going running back, but Gibson at 211, that's ridiculous. Lamb, Galladay, Claypool, Odell. I mean, you know how I feel about Odell, but I guess as your flex, it's okay. Andrews at 7.2, that's good value. Jones, Gordon, Beasley, Brady, Deshaun Jackson. All right. So
deep sleeper right there.
Very deep.
Deep.
I like Cook and Gibson. I like Lamb. You know, I feel like Galladay. But if he hits, that'll be nice for you. Claypool. I just feel like Beckham is your flex. Just like, nah. Andrews, Jones. I think this.
Man, you must hate Baker Mayfield.
No, it's just look at what we've seen from Beckham the last couple of years. Even when he's healthy, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that massive ceiling he used to have in New York.
Okay, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, I think this one's a 7.5 too. I don't really see a huge. I mean, obviously, Husky has McCaffrey. That's always a huge advantage. But other than that, I don't really see a big difference between these teams. All right, let's go to Nick. Barkley, love it. Wow, Robinson, love it. Evans. Chase, personal preference, don't love it, but Judy, Etienne, Robinson, so you got the Jags backfield. Herbert, that's great value at the 8-10. Mooney, nice. Murray, nice. Edwards, Irv Smith, yeah, it's fine. Definitely like
I love the nonchalantness of Chris. Like, it's okay.
Definitely, well, it's like whatever. Irv Smith, Cole. Go come out. I don't know how I feel about
10.
that. Definitely like this team better than the first two because, I mean, sure, McCaffrey and Cook better than Barkley, but Robinson, Evans, Judy, and potentially Chase better than their wide receivers by far. He's got the Jags backfield, so hopefully one of them will take control and it won't be some kind of timeshare. Again, Herbert's a great value. Maybe I would have liked to seen a little more running back depth because you do have 2 running backs on the same team, so you basically that's like 1 running back, right? But overall, this is a good team. I'll say an 8. Definitely the best team so far. I don't want to go too crazy with the grading early in case there's some stacked teams down the way. All right, Pierre and Pierre's wife, who did okay. JT, I mean, that's definitely way high. Maybe she's, must really like JT, I guess. Thomas, that's great. Waller, that's really good. Definitely like Higgins. Not as high on Smith as others, but maybe right there is okay. Although I don't know if I would take him over Chenault or Curtis Samuel or Boyd. That's just personal. Robbie Anderson, okay. But as your flex, maybe it's okay. I like the Carter pick. I don't hate the Evans pick in the 8th. I think that's okay. Definitely has potential. Hines, good. Stafford in the 11th, that's great. Akers in the 12th wins the league.
I didn't even realize that.
I think so. Definitely like this team. I don't know if I like as much as the Knicks. Let's see. Like Thomas, Higgins, Smith, Anderson versus Robinson, Evans, Chase, and Judy. I think I like Knicks a little better, but he does have Waller over Smith, which is a significant advantage, a massive advantage. So maybe that makes up for it there. JT and Barkley, I mean, definitely I like Barkley better. Etienne, Robinson, Carter. All right, these teams are pretty close. I can't really separate them. They each have their advantages and their disadvantages, so I'm going to give Pierre an 8 as well. Pierre and his wife an 8. All right, Big Kittle Liar, Kamara, A.J. Brown, Julio.
I had a questionable thing on that. I kind of got a little bit excited on my fingers with Jones.
Here's my thing with Julio. If he was in Atlanta, I would love this pick. But we're talking about a 32-year-old wide receiver going to a new team who doesn't throw the ball nearly as much, who already has an alpha wide receiver. So I don't like Julio as much, especially when you have guys like Cooper, Kupp, Woods behind him. I would have preferred one of those guys. I just feel like they're a little safer, but they also have nice ceilings.
Hey, real quick, since we're on them, AJ Brown had like double knee surgery. I think they were just cleanings or whatever. Do you know anything about it? Or
I haven't really heard anything, so I'm assuming it's minor. He's not on PUP right now, so I assume it's minor.
Okay.
So just cleanups.
Yeah, they're probably just like whatever. Carson's good at that spot. Chenault, I mean, dang, that seems high. I know people are starting to fall in love with Chenault. I think he's a nice player. Murray, that's good value. Fant, that's fine. I said Fuller was a great pick. I don't hate the Connor pick either. I think he's got potential. I love Marvin Jones there. Gabriel Davis is my guy, but I am worried about Emmanuel Sanders, but you never know. Hey, Philip, I like Philip Lindsay actually as a deep sleeper. Yeah, I can't quite put you ahead of the other guys just because of your receivers, right? You're looking at AJ Brown, who's a beast, but then you got Julio, Chenault, Fuller as your Fuller, Connor Jones, some kind of combo of that as your flex. So I don't know if you're quite. Kamara is obviously great. I like Carson as your RB2, so you have a little advantage there at RB2, but I don't know if it's enough. But I do like it better than the first 2 teams. I'm going to give it a 7.75.
7.75, nice.
Well, you're ahead of the first 2, but I don't have you quite with Nick and Pierre.
So if I made the trade between, so let's just say Jones and Cooper. I was going to do Cooper, but I got a little excited with my fingers with Jones. So Cooper would probably push me to 8 at least.
Well, yeah, because you'd be looking at A.J. Brown, Cooper, Chenault, Fuller, and you probably have an advantage over them at the RB2 with Carson. Pierre definitely has an advantage over both of you at tight end, but I do like your tight end. You probably would have been close. Yeah, you probably would have been 8 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Marquise, Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry, I feel at the 1.6, I can't say anything about that. It's a great pick. I I do like Keenan Allen this year a lot. I just don't know if he quite has the upside of like A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas. We shall see, but not a bad pick. Cooper, that's good. Thielen is your 3. I'm fine with that. Sanders and Gaskin, I don't really hate that because one of those guys each week you should be able to play and have a nice week from. So now we got to get, so I guess you're going to flex one of those guys, which I guess is okay. Debo, Mike Williams, Kenyon Drake, like the Drake pick. I actually like Debo in the 7th. I think that's good value. Parker in the 10th. Aaron Rodgers in the 11th. Very nice. Cole Kmet, whatever. Allen Cooper, Thielen. I think this is kind of
Dalton the 5th is malpractice. Sorry.
What's that?
I was reading Clapping Cheeks comment. Chenault in the 5th is malpractice.
It's definitely high. I think this is, let's see, Henry, Allen Cooper. I still think this is better than the first 2 teams. Not quite on par with Nick and Pierre. Maybe also probably a 7.75 here for Marquise. So you're right there with Roberto. Ooh. All right, Vaguna, Eckler, love it. Jefferson, that's good. Edwards, Lockett. Yeah. It's kind of where it goes off the rails.
I was about to say, I was like, man, after Josh Allen, I'm like, eee.
I mean, Lockett at the 4-6 when you could take guys like Thielen, Higgins, Ayuk. I mean, and I mean, CEH is okay, but I think I'd prefer, Kupp or even Kittle or even Woods. And then you go Allen Pitts. So now you only have 2 wide receivers. So now Pittman's your wide receiver 3. And look, I like Pittman this year. I think Pittman has a chance, but he also has a lot of risk. And as your wide receiver 3, I think, you already got Lockett, who's very up and down, and now you got Pittman, who could be up and down, very up and down. Mostert's not bad in the 8th. It's worth taking the gamble on. Hardman, take the gamble. Elijah Moore, Pollard, Brown. I don't mind what you did there at the end, but I feel like those 3 through 7-ish rounds kind of really derailed your team here. I think you would have been better off waiting on Josh Allen and maybe getting like a Kyler Murray in the next round. And then, maybe taking a wide receiver or something there since it is a 3 wide receiver league. Man. I'm going to give this one a 7. Because you don't have that like beastly, I love Eckler, but I don't have him on the same level as like McCaffrey and Cooks. You don't have like that beastly running back that can carry you week to week. And then your wide receivers, are definitely going to be question marks. So I got to give you a 7. All right, Austin, and the slowest running back group. Okay, what did DeAndre Swift run? What was DeAndre Swift's 40 times? Somebody pull that up for me. You got slow Zeke, slow Montgomery, slow Sermons. Was Harris slow? I don't know if Harris was slow. You got slow Moss, really slow Stevenson. All right, well, let's look at the teams. You got Zeke, love that at the 8. Zeke at the 8 is ridiculous. That's stupid value. Ridley at the 5, that's a great start. Kupp, that's an amazing start.
All right, do you want Swift's 40 time?
Yeah, what was Swift's 40 time?
4.48.
All right, that's decent. What does Swift weigh?
Look, man, why are you asking me all these questions about
210? 210? Something like that? That's not like crazy speed. It's good. It's good. It's better than the other guy.
Man, now it's trying to get me into a video. No.
All right. Zeke, Ridley, Kupp, Montgomery. Love that start. I know it's hard to pass on Swift there. I mean, I guess, okay, Swift's fine there. Then you go Juju. Okay, whatever. Not a fan, but I
212 is his weight.
This is what I don't understand. You got Swift in the flex. You got Juju as your wide receiver 3. We know, like, okay, that's could be good, but it could have some question marks. And instead of attacking wide receiver, you attack running back. Like, what are you going to do with all these running backs? You gonna make? What is he saying in the chat? Is he going to make trades? What's he going to do with all these running backs? What's he saying? Like, I don't understand this.
He said 4.32, but when I looked it up for his combine time, I got 4.48.
But what? Like, I don't understand what he's doing with all these running backs. Look, I love those first 4. Even those first 5 picks, I think were great. But But man, you got to start attacking wide receiver at this point. Hurts in the 9th, I think that's good. I can't. I don't think this is definitely not on par with Pierre and Nick's team. I don't know if it's on par with Marquise or Roberto. It's because you're going to have a lot of guys on your bench scoring points that you can't start. So, well, not Stevenson or Moss. I'm going to give this a 7-5. That's only because I like you.
Oh, wait. You got to ding him like 2 points. He didn't draft a tight end.
And you didn't even draft tight end. 2.
I was just looking at that. And I was like, wait, where's this tight end?
This is a 4.6 for the average speed, the average 40 time of your running backs. 4.6. There you go. All right, Ale. Chubb. Okay. Chubb, Metcalf. Love that pick. Definitely think Metcalf has I'm on the Pierre train. I think Metcalf legit can be a league winner this year. When I looked at the numbers, I think he has that potential. Kittle the 3.9 is great value. Sutton, I don't like Sutton that high, but I get why you take him there. I understand. I love Sutton. So I think I don't like Jacobs. I know 5.9 seems like good value, but you pass on guys like Kareem Hunt, Darrell Henderson. I think I like those guys a little better than Jacobs. Jacobs was really bad last year. Jacobs had, I think, 5 20-point games, and every other game was basically replacement level, and now he's got Kenyon Drake. So I'm not sure. I think I would have taken those guys over him. I like Boyd. I like Davis. Russell Wilson in the 8th. That's great value. Fournette, Rager, David Johnson, St. Brown. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I think this is more on par with which is crazy because you usually crush these drafts. Because you're looking at like Jacobs as your RB2. You're looking at Corey Davis, Leonard Fournette as your flexes, which could be okay, but definitely risky. So I think this is more on par with the first 2 teams. So I got you at 7-5. All right, Arsenal. Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Joe Mixon at the 3.10. That's good. Not a fan of DJ Moore, but if he's your guy, he's your guy. Chark, Samuel at the 6.3. That's good. Cooks, Goddard, Ruggs, Bateman, Tannehill at the 11. That's good. Wow. I like Jones at 10. I think that's great value. I think Mixon's good value. I think between your 4 receivers you took there, you can find 2. The question is, who are you going to be flexing? Because if, it's looking very unlikely that Deshaun Watson's going to be in Houston. So you're looking at, I don't know, Cooks and Chark. I mean, if one of those guys hit, then you're fine. And you really have no depth behind Mixon. Like, what do you do if Mixon gets hurt, which I think's happened before? What are you going to do? I would have liked to see maybe a little more running back depth in those last few picks. I think this is kind of on. I know you said the Bateman was supposed to be Dylan, so I guess we give it Dylan there. It's okay. Yeah, I think this is another 7-5. Man, I don't know. Is it just me? Am I just like, none of these teams are really standing out to me. Is it just me? Anybody? Am I muted?
No.
No, you're not muted.
Like, am I wrong? I mean, none of these teams have really like stood out to me like, oh wow, this is a great team. Am I wrong? Am I just grading too hard?
I mean, Chris, you're the expert. I'm not really sure.
Jeremy?
Sure.
Guys in the chat, what do you think?
I don't think anyone separated themselves this draft from anybody else. I think that's the hard part.
Yeah, I think I look at these teams and none of these teams are really jumping off the page as like, oh, this team. I mean, I do think Nick and Pierre are the 2 best teams right now, but I don't feel like their teams are overwhelming favorites. I just feel like, yeah. Well, anyways, let's look at Jeremy. Let's see what Jeremy's got. Kelsey, Hill, Woods. That's good. Dobbins, Hunt, Williams. Okay, see, I don't mind that. I mean, well, here's the problem. Now,
yeah, my flex buy is a little questionable.
Well, not even your flex. You're wide receiver 3 because you don't have one yet. So you got Lamar at 7-11 is great value, but now you got Landry, Marquise Brown, and Nelson Aguilar. One of those guys has to be your wide receiver 3. and you need a flex.
Yeah.
So one of those. So unless Javonte just takes over this backfield right away, you're gonna need somebody, but you're gonna need two of Landry, Brown, and Aguilar to be your wide receiver 3 and flex. That's gonna be tough. I mean, it's tough when you go Kelsey, wide receiver. It's tough for sure, and then you go 3 running backs. So yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I feel like it's gonna be tough for you. I'm gonna have to give you a 7.5. Wow. So every grade I gave 2 8s and everything else was in the 7s. Am I just like the toughest grader ever or what?
No, I think there were some downfalls on each team. There was no one who really separated themselves. It'll take the season / injuries and all that stuff to figure out who's gonna separate themselves.
Yeah, I just don't feel like there's a lot of good teams, but no great ones.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I'm talking about in like a more competitive league. Like it usually comes down to hitting on 1 or 2 picks and getting guys like that end up being league winners. So
yeah, I will say the reason my third wide receiver or my flex spot sucks is because I also have a very good QB, I think, and a very good tight end. So I sacrificed my flex spot and my third wide receiver to have a better quarterback and tight end.
yeah, no, I get that. But if you look at like Pierre, he has Darren Waller, so your advantage there may not be, as significant. His receivers are much better.
But I like my QB better than his.
Yeah, but is it going to be enough to overcome that? I don't know. Because again, like you're going to be starting 2 of Landry, Brown, and Aguilar. Is that enough to overcome the difference between Lamar Jackson and Matthew Stafford? I'm not sure. Probably not. Maybe on like a week where Lamar Jackson scores like 35, but on the weeks where he scores like 25, probably not, right? Probably
True,
not.
True.
And again,
I feel like if Cam Newton gets benched and Jones comes out of nowhere and takes over his position, I think Aguilar is gonna be sneaky. I just personally think I've seen that before.
I think Aguilar is going to be sneaky regardless, but we're talking like what sneaky, like wide receiver,
15 points.
Yeah. We're not talking like we're
not like 30 points.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like if Javonte was like locked into that role right now, then I'd feel better about your team because it's like, okay, you can flex Javonte and then you only need 1 of Landry, Brown, and Aguilar every week.
Yeah.
This team may struggle early on, which is okay. And if Javonte wins that job, then it will be very good. But I can only grade by where we're at right now, and that's kind of how it is. So
yeah, and I get that. So
all right, well, nobody needs to grade mine. It's fine.
Yeah, yours is a 10. Yours is a 10.
Mine's terrible. We can just skip mine.
Well, you definitely have the best wide receivers. The biggest thing is like if they go out and get someone for the Rams do, Darrell Henderson immediately just drops, and then you got to start Mike Davis and Gus Edwards.
Wait, so you're telling me if they go out and get like Adrian Peterson or Todd Gurley or Le'Veon Bell or Duke Johnson, that does anything to Darrell Henderson?
Okay, maybe not those guys, but
who else are they going to get?
I don't know.
They're not going to trade for Kareem Hunt. They're not going to. Who else are people? James Robinson. Who else are people saying? Melvin Gordon. I mean, maybe Melvin Gordon I could see if the Broncos are like, oh wow, Javonte is like incredibly good. We can part with Melvin Gordon. But again, what are the Rams?
I'm okay with that because then that makes my Javonte Williams pick.
Sure. But the Broncos are gonna have to take something like a 7th round pick for Melvin Gordon, which maybe they're willing to do. I don't know. But probably not likely. More than likely, the Rams are going to sign one of those vets, and it's going to do nothing to Darrell Henderson. I mean, maybe it'll lower his touchdown. Like if they sign AP, maybe it lowers his touchdown upside a little bit. But yeah, There's nothing.
I think you have the best wide receiver group probably out of everybody. Your running back group is probably middle of the pack, if not lower. And then you've got Dak Prescott, definitely. I don't want to say top 6 because that's probably
he's top 5.
Yeah, you think he's top 5?
Oh yeah. He was averaging 27 points per game before he got hurt last year. I'm not saying he's going to do that.
I know, but he's coming off an injury and all that. So I have top 8. So I'll give you that. But
that's low, but okay.
I have him a 7. So like when I say, and then you have Robin Gronkowski as your tight end. So
Yeah.
You just need your wide receivers to outscore people's running backs, which is the big thing, which they can. Like you have 4 that can do it. So
yeah,
it's not unreasonable. I'd give you an 8.
All right,
maybe an 8.5.
I'll take that. In this draft, I think that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, whatever.
Because again, it wasn't like there weren't any teams that really just jumped out to me like, oh, that team's stacked or that team's really good. There's a lot of good teams, but no teams that were really like every team like, oh, that part's good, and then it's like, oh, then this part's not so good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I just think I will say. So one thing I have learned, or I guess I like doing, if you got one of those, like so I have Lamar or JK, so I now have the touchdown upside of when they get in the red zone. I'm gonna get a touchdown from one of them on my team. So,
well, not necessarily, but yeah.
What do you mean? If
you're gonna get a
if
lot
Lamar
of
passes it, I get
you're
the
gonna
touchdown.
you're gonna get a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
But remember, I mean, Lamar passing it, okay.
It's very rare. So that's why I was like, either he's gonna hand it off or run it in himself. And I'm like,
I mean, he doesn't. He's still gonna throw more passing touchdowns than he's gonna rush for significantly more. He's not gonna run for 20, and if he does, he's gonna break fantasy football. Like literally, like he will literally win everybody who has Lamar Jackson will win their championship if he runs for 20. So
what is that? That's at least 1 a game. He's probably got to do what, like 1.3 a game.
That's over 1 a game. That's 120 fantasy points just from touchdowns on the ground. Like he would only really need what? And that's not counting like the rushing yards you get from those touchdowns too and stuff. So yeah, he would break fantasy football.
All right. Yeah. So I don't think anyone separated themselves. I'm trying to think of fantasy news that came out. I know we talked about the Watson thing a little bit on the Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more. It's starting to get that time. It's training camp, so things are starting to heat up.
Not all the teams are doing training camp, right? It's just or they're not all starting at the same time. I forget.
Yeah, they don't always start at the same time. Like some teams start, and then a few days later, some teams start. But yeah, it's here. It's here. It's finally here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, good job. It was tough as always. And then hopefully we'll see most of you on Sunday. And I'm sure, yeah, if you guys aren't in the Discord, you need to get in the Discord. We have a lot of good discussion going on in the Discord that will help you. So get in there if you're not in there. Join the chat. All right, guys. Enjoy your night, and we will see you on